Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Dollies, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. In the last episode, we were working with Witchery, and we managed to get the Alchemy Catalyst, which I should probably... I already did. Alright, cool. I didn't know if I scanned it or not. Can I scan the clipboard? Hey, I can. Cool. Realizer probably not. Alright, so we got the Alchemy Catalyst. Well, what that took was some witchery. We needed some ritual chalk and just a bunch of stuff. And we finally got it after a couple episodes. And what that's going to allow us to do, more than anything, this guy is going to allow us to get the next blood orb. Now, if we want anything else from this, it's going to be annoying. But we'll get there. So there is a bunch of stuff you can make. You can make tiny little flowers, which basically they work the same as the big flowers, but they are tiny, so they have smaller ranges. We can get leather from zombie flesh. We can get all the different woods and saplings, break things down into their component parts. Can even make ice from snow. Just a lot of different things. Some of the better things that we're going to want probably, I don't really know, to be honest. There's not much that we're going to be using this for. The slime balls to cactus is kind of a nice thing. Gas tears and ender pearls, not so much. Glowstone, if we need a lot of glowstone, we have a ton of redstone, so that's a potential one. But yeah, this is the main one that we need, is to get the prismarine shards. Because in this version of Minecraft, the prismarine shards don't actually exist yet. And then there's some things we can get, bees, which I don't really know what these are for. Oh, the boreal seeds and infestation seeds and pasture seeds, but those are usually pretty easy to get. And then the floral ones are probably, yeah, they have... you can't see it, but they will give random of every flower, which we need botanic and blossom. That kind of stuff we will worry about later. But anyway, so between episodes, I made another barrel for redstone blocks because we're very rapidly running out of room for redstone. So every once in a while, I can just kind of empty these out, make a whole bunch of blocks and put them in there. So that's something. Let's see, what else did I do? I cleaned up the animals. I moved them all down there, just to get them out of the way. I moved around the witchery stuff a little bit. Basically, I just moved the altar here, and I moved these two things around. And we can go ahead and do a little bit of work with this, just to kind of show off what I was working on. And I've got to go find my flint and steel. You know what? Let's make another flint and steel. Actually, I don't really use flint and steel, so I'll keep it with the witchery stuff. It's a little bit more useful for the witchery stuff, so we'll just keep it over here. But what I want to do is set that on fire. We'll put the witch's cauldron on top of it, and then we take ritual chalk and we do something like this. And this will, it doesn't actually matter the symbol, this will reduce the power costs and also negate any negative effects for using the witch's cauldron. And then this is where the kettle will be once we get the kettle. We'll worry about that when we get there. So I have that all taken care of. I moved the bees. All the bee stuff is over here now, and kind of organized. I put some signs, all that fun stuff. I made one of the iron chests, a gold chest, and yeah, that's about all I did between episodes. I also replaced the fuel rods and the 2 reactors, so this guy is going as fast as he can again. So pretty much we're to the point now that we just kind of have to either progress in magic, which the next thing with magic is kind of working towards getting the runic altar from Thaumcraft. And that's going to require a bunch of blood runes and a bunch of Botania runes, plus a ton of mana. So why don't we do a little something about the mana? That's what we're gonna work on today. So before we really start going, I'm gonna want to get more of this stuff. So we're gonna want more mana spreaders. And I know the recipe's changed, so I'll have to remember how it changed. But we're going to get a whole bunch more mana spreaders. I also want to go ahead and pick up all of the farming stuff. And we're going to move this stuff as well. Let's break these guys. And I don't have a chisel on me. So I want to get this looking nice again. We'll get the chisel, we'll get the large cobblestone tiles. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to work towards getting basically all of the we're going to be basically working on automated mana. Now this is going to be semi-automated for now, and I say semi-automated in a loose term. We're going to have to fill up a chest or something to fill up the mana pools, but that's about it. So this is all the mystical flower stuff. We'll get to that in a moment. I want to go ahead and put seeds in here for right now. I'll come back to this in a moment. And we'll put the excess. Actually, we'll take the dirt out. I kind of want to move things around a little bit. We could do some farming over there if we need to. I don't know that we're going to need to. I also had to kill another int. They like spawning when you are chopping down trees. So unfortunately, I had to kill another one, but it wasn't that bad. So you know, something else we should probably do. Let's make a better axe. That'll be pretty easy. We just need to make a cast and all that kind of stuff. So we'll do that here in a moment while we work on getting some more stuff. So let's get more living wood. And eventually, once we get an ME system, this will be automated, but not until. So I need to break these guys with Silk Touch so I can get the podzol back. Now we don't have all of the flowers, but we will get them eventually. So I might put the podzol in here and all of these seeds. The petals we'll put in another place. So one big thing that we're going to have to kind of work on is getting a lot of stuff kind of taken care of in terms of organization and storage and all that kind of fun stuff. And again, once we get to applied energistics, a lot of this is going to be a lot easier. So what I want to do, put petals in here for right now. I want to go ahead and break this guy and put him in here as well. Petals go in here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to just move this chest over here. And the easiest way to do that is going to be with the dolly. So while we are doing that, let's see. Do I have a hatchet? No. Let's grab the axe head pattern. I have some aluminum brass, so I'll just go ahead and melt one of these guys down. And while we're at it, let's get a piece of platinum, shiny metal, and stick that in there as well. Because that's what we're going to make the thing out of. We just need a piece of cobblestone to get a stone axe head. And let's start working on getting a little bit of this taken care of. So we'll grab our dolly. I spent a long time making that, so we're going to get our uses out of it. And there is the molten aluminum brass and the shiny. Cool. So just wanted to make that cast just so we can make a new axe head, and then I believe in order to replace this, we can check real quick. We have to fully repair this guy, which is not that big of a deal. So we just need some bone meal. Do I have any lying around? over here. I mean, I know I have a bunch in here, so let's grab that. 5 should be more than enough, I think. So yeah, we'll just replace this just so it's a little bit easier to do the whole, I don't know, mining level. So mining speed goes from 4 to 14. Durability goes way up. Yeah. Shiny axe head. It's a little bit better. So this will help us basically just get the living wood a little bit faster. Our cobalt pickaxe is already pretty fast in terms of oh yeah, the stuff, the mining speed. Cobalt is already pretty fast, so don't care too much about that. Let's move this stuff, and I'll keep the dolly on me for right now. But now this base is looking a little bit more organized and a little bit more, honestly, a little cleaner, which is good. I like that. So yeah, we have a bunch of the living wood. We're also going to need some living rock. Yeah, that is so much faster. We're also going to need some living rock, so that's not too big of an issue. Don't need in there right now. So there's a bunch of living wood. We're going to get some more living rock because we need to make more mana pools and all sorts of stuff. So how are we going to do this? Well, it's pretty easy. We're going to make a couple things, and we're probably going to try to make another Gorgomillis flower. And I think what I want to do is I want to make floating Gorgomillis. Or do I want to? Does it matter to me? I don't know. But we're going to need a couple more Gorgomillis. We're going to need a couple droppers, and a timer to kind of set it all off. So we do have, we don't even have to use the, so typically what I would do is use the floating hourglass, the hovering hourglass, whatever, same difference. This guy from Britannia, which allows you to time things. But we accidentally made a whole bunch of these conduit plates, so let's use these instead. So we can make just the timer from Project Red. So this requires pointer. We're gonna need like, let's see, we're gonna need 1, 2, all right, just 2 redstone torches, not too bad. Let's go get some of the stone that I've cooked up, and yeah, we're going to be basically getting a bunch of stuff. Now, something else I'm going to want to do is make a couple iron chests. We're going to break down those chests, we're going to make them iron, and we're going to basically just kind of make things nicer, but we can do that over there. I do need to make another crafting bench because I took one over there with the bees. And I really need to get to work on the bees, but I've been busy with trying to get all of the different series taken care of, so I haven't really had too much time. But we need a pointer and a cathode. I believe one of the things we need is this, and we need 3 of these, and we should be good. There's the timer. So you can put all that back, and this guy will go in there. So the timer is going to help us make, basically it's going to help us kind of, okay, so how the Gorgomillis works, I should explain that. The Gorgomillis, whenever it gets food dropped on it, it eats it. And when it eats the food, it will then proceed to create mana. Simple enough. But the catch is if you try to feed it too much too quickly, it will eat whatever you give it. But the problem is it will not generate any more mana. So basically, you could waste mana very easily. Now that's not good. You don't want to waste food, basically, because it wouldn't make any more mana. It is based on the saturation and the oh, the hunger haunches that the food gives is how it calculates how much mana and how long it takes. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to set up a couple of droppers attached to a timer that will drop onto the Gorgomillus flowers, and then have a couple mana spreaders taking those and sending them to a probably a singular mana pool. And basically when we have the mana that we like, that will send to probably a battery type of thing, a couple of mana pools, and then we'll have 2 mana pools that are going to be the main ones. That's going to be eventual though, that excess mana pools, but for now I don't know if we'll need that. So before we do too much else, let's go ahead and place some stuff down. So yeah, I have some excess chests, so let's make some new chests that are iron chests, and then we'll just kind of organize our things as we go. I believe I put them in here. Yes. Cool. So 2 chests, 2 sets of iron plates. Cool. Now we can make floating flowers, and I think I want to do this for a bunch of different things. But floating flowers, including floating pure daisies, require a floating flower that's glimmering with pasture seeds, which is just grass. Glimmering is just some glowstone and a flower. So let's get 4 for now. I said 4. And we're gonna need some grass, which depending on things shouldn't be too bad. So I want the stuff over here. We'll put back in this corner actually the production, because we might put the mana or the portal Alfheim over here, or terrestrial agglomeration plate. Actually, I don't know. And then we can have stuff over here. So let's go ahead and put the iron chest here, and we can put this here. Now I'm gonna need to take this stuff out, so I'm not gonna worry about this one for right now. So what we're gonna want to do is, oh, there's a lot of stuff to do. Alright, so this will be my like supplies chest. So we'll do 2 rows like that of living rock. We'll take the living wood, do something similar. And then we can do this, just to have plenty of storage. And let's see, gunpowder to mana powder, because I believe that's how you make, yeah, that is one way. Any kind of powder will work. Sugar, glowstone, all that kind of fun stuff. And then we can have miscellaneous stuff down here. Don't need the charcoal anymore. We can take this guy out. So mana steel will go here, and we'll have blocks here. So iron and then blocks, because eventually we're going to want to do a lot more than what we are. Mana string, Lexipotania. This guy can go in here because this is going to be all the flowers and stuff. Book goes down here. End of Flames can go in there. And then runes are going to go in here. So there is a lot of runes. So we'll do this. So earth, fire, air, earth, water, fire, mana, and then there'd be 4 more, and then the 7. So 3. That's exactly enough for all the runes. Cool. So eventually we're probably going to want more, but eventually though we're going to just have this hooked up to the AE system, so I don't really care too much. Charcoal we don't need. The petal pocket area we're going to place down, honestly right here looks just fine. And yeah, that should be good. So I'm gonna get rid of this guy. And I'm gonna put him in here. Actually, no. So do I have many flowers? I do. 1, 2. We're gonna take these 2 flowers and we're gonna make them glimmering with some glowstone. Easy enough. Now I do need some grass, which I don't have. But that's easy enough to get. It's just some bone meal and shears. So let's get rid of some stuff in our inventory. Shears. And I don't need the dolly anymore. I don't need the chest. I'm going to need 1 more piece of dirt. And we don't need the charcoal anymore. But I don't really have a good place to put that right now, so we'll just put it in there. So that should be good. I'm just trying to think, what else am I going to need? I need bone meal. I knew that. So we just get a piece of bone meal. Honestly, 1 piece will be plenty. Give us a decent amount of grass. So anytime we need more grass, we can easily get that. Now, eventually, I do want to move the grassy field. We might put that downstairs. I don't know yet, but yeah, as you can see, plenty of grass. And we're gonna get some seeds for this as well. But I don't really care. Actually, we can use these seeds for making flowers. So let's grab the rest of the living rock, and I will worry about getting the pure daisies moved eventually. We are going to have a decent area over here. We'll probably have a little bit of a farm. I might 10-10-10 these guys, the mystical flowers in here, and have that here, but I don't know yet. There's a lot of stuff that pure daisy might be something we want to automate over here rather than anywhere else, so I don't know. But anyways, let's make 2. That should be good for right now. So 2 more mana pools, and we can put living rock away, we can put that away, we can put those away. I don't know why I still have that. Grass, we can put that here. We're going to need 2 of these guys turn into pasture seeds, and pasture seed, dirt, glimmering flowers gives you floating brown flowers, and then we can change one of those with the Gorgomillis to make a floating Gorgomillis. Now, the reason you want to do this is typically you have to plant the flowers on dirt. Well, this allows you to plant them on anything because they are floating. They have their own dirt island. That's the thing. That's the joke, basically. Now, this does have some other effects too. So instead, typically when you have these flowers, they can be washed away by water. They'll break off like you would expect, honestly. Not if they're floating. If they're floating, they don't break off like that. Some things will still destroy them, so to speak, but for the most part, you don't have to worry about it. So we need some ender pearls, and we're going to actually use one of these ender pearls to make something kind of cool that we don't really need right now, but we're going to want to make. Now, while we're over here, let's go ahead, and I have to remember, actually I know the recipe for it. It just requires some redstone, which we'll get over here, and yeah, it should be easy enough. I believe it is just like so, with 2 redstone, and there is droppers. Now, is that what we're gonna want? I think that'll be good enough because these floating flowers will have a bit of a range. Now we're also gonna want some item ducts, I think. Do we want item ducts? I could do a transfer node. That'll work too. I don't know. For now, we won't worry about it. But have that. We have that timer. Don't need the shears anymore. I just kind of want to get my inventory a little bit clean before we do too much. Have those. One of them goes underneath with the alchemy catalyst. Now we're going to make some other things relatively soon, but for now, this will work. So we need to make another Gorgomillis. Now these weren't that hard, I believe. So 2 light gray, 2 yellow, and a red. We don't have light gray, that's right. But we can make light gray. So we do that, we go get some bone meal. And I have some bone meal in here. But I also need the shears. So let's go get the shears as well. And, you know, just so we can save some time and effort, we're just going to do it right here. Break them. And we get a bunch. And then do it again. And one more time. Cool. So that works just fine. Put the shears back. We have our light gray flowers now. We can put the bone meal back in here. And before we do too much else, I want to just go ahead and throw one of these guys in there to get a mana pearl. So mana pearls can go up here, I think. And then mana diamonds are also going to be a thing that we're going to need. And honestly, we're going to stick the grass in here with the pasture seeds when we get those. So 2 light gray, 2 yellow, and a red. So light gray will go somewhere around here. We need another yellow. But honestly, we're just going to do this and then a red. So there is the petals that we need. Now we also need the Rune of Summer and a Rune of Fire. Now we have a Rune of Fire, and then the Rune of Summer was Earth and Air with what? Immune Slate, 2 Sand, Slime Ball, and Melon. Alright, so do we have any more Immune Slates? No. So I do believe we can turn that off. And we're going to need this guy. And we'll get to that in just a moment. So we also need the flowers. So it's these 2 things. We also need to make one other thing. We're going to make another sink because I love sinks. The sinks are so handy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wood, a bucket of water, and 3 iron. Easy, easy, easy. And they're super useful. So bucket of water, which we're going to need the bucket anyway, so we'll keep it on us. And 3 iron. So just go ahead and do that. Cool. So that should have spawned at least a couple of monsters. I'm still gonna have the issue with the whole, you know, getting the whatchamacallits, the spiders. We're still gonna have issues with spiders, but that's okay. So should be able to just, you know, kill these guys for a while. I also get the wand out so we can get all these aspect orbs. And I do also want to see this guy so we can see. I don't remember how much it is for the Immune Slate, to be honest. It's 5,000. So once this gets the second one, we just need to have 5,000 in here. And we'll kind of wait for the 5,000 because honestly, I don't want to like be rushing and all that kind of fun stuff. Honestly, we could go ahead and, you know, we could go ahead and do some sacrificing. That'll help a little bit. I don't hear any spiders, so that's good. But we'll just back off for a second. We do need to go get 2 sand, a slime ball, and a piece of melon. I think we can handle that. Slime ball should not be too difficult either. We have a couple. And 2 sand. Cool. Easy enough. And hopefully we have enough mana generated. If not, we can just throw down our guy and make more. But there we go. We can turn that back on. Don't need this. Don't need that. Don't need this. Alright, so we're getting there. Almost there. So we have the Immune Slate. Now we can go just throw this on the Runic Altar and get another Gorgomillis. And we definitely do need more. So that will have mana in just a second. It does take it a little bit to get started, but nothing too bad. Oh yeah, we need 1 piece of living rock. We're gonna need a few more, and you'll see why here in a second, but there we go. So we'll just go ahead and throw these 2 back in here. And we just need some seeds. I didn't keep any seeds on me. So not too much of a problem. We just need to grab some seeds, which we have plenty of. And yeah, that'll be that. So we'll just throw this in here, get another Gorgomillis. We'll put the Gorgomillis here, and we'll get another floating Gorgomillis. So there is the Gorgomillis. We have a dropper. Go ahead and pick up this guy. And what we're gonna do, actually, let's get the system set up. So what we're gonna want is 2 Gorgomillis, like here and here. And we're gonna need another mana spreader, which is not too bad to make. So we need some sort of petal, which I have a whole bunch of pink ones. I don't believe pink petals are useful for much. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we need a piece of gold. Now we're also going to need... I'm trying to think. What else are we going to need? We're going to need... some redstone conduit would be nice. We can get by with 1. We're going to need... yeah, piece of gold. And yeah, I think that's about it for right now. So let's go ahead and make another mana spreader. And before we actually place these guys, what we're gonna want is we're gonna want the droppers. We're gonna need another set of the extreme chili. So dropper and dropper. Aren't these... can't I do this? I'm trying to remember how these drop. We'll see. I guess we can kind of manage this as we go. So dropper there, dropper here. Actually, let's move this one more down, just to get an odd number in between them. And we'll just put a piece of cobblestone here with a timer. And I don't want it like that. But we could probably do it something like this. That'll work. So we need some more conduit. This is just redstone alloy, which is pretty cheap, I believe. It's just redstone and silicon, I believe. We might have a little bit more. No. Okay. So we just need 1, 2, 3. I believe it's just, let's see. Recipe. Yeah, silicon and redstone. Easy enough. I don't need any of this stuff now. So we have some silicon right here. 1, 2, 3. And we have induction smelter, so that will get going. Now something else we're going to want to make here soon is sparks. Now we can't unfortunately make spark augments, but sparks themselves are amazing. We're going to make a couple of these. And yeah, that is going to make our lives a little bit easier. Now while we're over here, we're just going to pop down and grab. Let's see how this is actually doing. So 13 stacks. I think we can do better. We're missing onions. So onions is what we need to grow more of. Basically whenever we get onions, this goes. So we can put 1 stack back there. Nice and easy. Alright, so let's fly back over here and get this going. So the reason we wanted to make this is to get more redstone conduit. And we're gonna tell this to go like, yeah, for a long time. But that should work. Now if we set this back down to like every, cool. That's a little too quick. I just want to see how it drops out. Okay. It is in front of it. So honestly, we're gonna break these, and we only need as much conduit as I thought. We're gonna put these on the floor, about like that, and we do the conduit, and that looks good. So then these guys will feed into the floating flowers. Actually, that is probably a bad idea. We'll put the floating flowers 1 away. Cool. And just for safety's sake, we're going to do this. And then we'll have 2 mana spreaders. And we're going to bind this one to this. No. This one to that. There we go. And this one to this one. And then we'll have a mana pool right here. We'll just bind both of these guys to these. So that's that. Now, eventually we'll have like a battery or something over here. But for now, we're going to break this block because it looked good enough. We're going to put the alchemy catalyst down. And then we're going to put this guy. So as you can see, the neat thing is you can actually see the stuff in between it. And then we're going to make... Do I really want to make that? We're going to lose a little bit of mana. That's okay. We're going to break that. We are going to break this one. We're going to break this. And we're going to have... We're going to move this stuff back a little. So we'll just put it like right here. Mana spreader here. That goes into the runic altar. There we go. So this will work. Should work. Now the only thing is I need to figure out how long it takes for one of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to just throw this here and count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's say like every 30 seconds. It doesn't need to be super efficient. So we'll do every 30 seconds, this will go off. and we're going to put a stack of stuff in here and a stack of stuff in here. And that's pretty much it. So now the last thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take these pink flowers. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Accidentally did 4. So we'll put these in here somewhere. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a couple of sparks. Now we need 1, 2, 3 coins, because coins are the easiest thing to use. And we have, oh wait, we have a ton of stuff. Now this isn't the most efficient design. It is just simple. That's more of what I'm going for here. It's a simple design that's going to work for what we want, and it's compact enough. And now the thing is I could probably stack these. I could put more stuff here, but this is going to pretty rapidly make a lot of mana. And we just do this, and we can make these sparks. Now sparks are really cool. What sparks allow you to do is we can put a spark on here. And now this mana pool has a spark attached to it. Now what sparks do is they are mana spreaders, but better. They can't be attached to everything. You cannot put a spark on the runic altar. Unfortunately, you have to use mana spreaders. But we can put one here, and what will happen is these two guys know about each other. And I believe eventually it will transfer the mana. We can also put one here. So they all see each other. And yeah. Now if we want to do much more with these, we need to get these we need to get this, a dispersive augment. But that requires pixie dust, which requires the elven portal. So for now, I think let's read. Let's see, because it will say in here if sparks can do what I think they can. I believe it would be natural apparatus. New. Ender artifacts? No. Mana manipulation. Dirt. Of course. So sparks are yeah, they can be placed on a few. There's a couple others that they are required for, basically. When we start wanting to make Terra Steel, that's going to require a spark. So some blocks have ability to harness mana from sparks, but yeah. We'll allow accept. Okay, so yeah, it should eventually... it should eventually start transferring stuff over once this guy starts filling up a little bit more. But these guys are working quite well, actually. All I have to do is keep this stuff full, and eventually we can probably just put like a chest down here. We'll have a bunch of these guys, and we'll probably do teams of 2 or something. But you can remove the sparks just by right-clicking, like shift right-clicking with the wand. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to do today. We have automatic mana. I can just go around, do other things, and that will still fill up. So one last thing before we go, because yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to do today. We should look here soon at the terrestrial agglomeration plate, and that's the vanilla recipe. That's the typical recipe, but it is difficult because, yeah, this is annoying. But we could probably start working towards that in the next episode. We're going to need a lot of mana for that. And then what we can use, what that allows us to do is to make Terra Steel, which is this stuff, which is really cool. It requires a lot of mana, but we can use that to make the gateway, the portal gateway, Elven Gateway Core, which is a little bit more difficult in this mod pack. Obviously, we need the Magician's Blood Orb, which is a tier 3 altar, which we have. we could actually go ahead and make that once we get enough blood. So I think one thing we might want to do is work on getting more blood from that guy. We have 800 millibuckets. It is slowly but surely, we are getting stuff. I was also making a whole bunch more fuel rods, and yeah, I need to do all the things with that, but not too difficult. Let's get like a bunch of this stuff, and perfect. So stack, and we can go ahead and can this, and then that's ready for when these guys run out again. So we are slowly making a lot more stuff. I think next time we will probably start we're either going to start working more with Britannia, more with blood magic, more with witchery, more with thaumcraft. So we're going to work more with some sort of magic, or we're going to start preparing for applied energistics, because we're getting relatively close. We're not that close yet, but we're getting close. And kind of the thing that I would want to work towards is the inscriber, which I think is not too bad. How much? Okay, that gateway does require. Yeah, it does require ingot of terra steel. How about there is some other stuff to get the gateway, which is going to give us some spark augments, which are much better to work with. The gateway, the pylon, the terrestrial pylon, that's going to require a lot. So we need 2 of these guys. So we're going to need a lot of terra steel. This isn't bad, actually. Everything else here is pretty easy. Distillery with just some ender pearls, that's easy enough. Soul of the World is a kettle, so we'll need a kettle, but that's not too bad. The redstone soup is annoying. It does require a wool of bat though, so we'll have to get some bats. And what I might do is try to capture a bat. Drop of luck. That's disgusting. That's really nasty to make. But okay, so that's not too bad otherwise. Primal Charm is easy enough. Demonic Slate is a tier 4 though, so we'll need a tier 4 altar. So we'll have to do some more blood magic. A lot of work to get more into all of this stuff. So I think what I want to do, I want to turn this off, and I want to try to get a bat. Because if we get a bat, we can start spawning them in there, and we can get a lot of wool. And then the other things is living wood. So the glimmering living wood, okay, it requires a lot more terra steel, but not that bad. And then yeah, just living wood planks, or I don't remember what all it takes, but it's just living wood. So that's not too bad. It's going to require a lot of terra steel, which once we get the ability to make terra steel, it's just going to be a matter of making more mana, and that's not that bad. So terra steel is an option, but the other thing I would want to start working towards is getting the inscribers. Now this isn't that bad. Yes, it is. We need a lot more lasers. How bad are the lasers again? I don't remember. I don't think the lasers are actually that bad. No, they just require a lot of redstone and obsidian and then diamonds. And diamonds is what's difficult for us right now. Yeah, we have 37 diamonds, but we do have a stack plus 2 stacks and a half of the diamond dust, so that's good. That's helpful. But what I might go ahead and do, we could probably get 1 inscriber, and then just slowly kind of progress on that. Because once we get these plates, they aren't that bad, just blocks of iron and some other stuff in the rolling machine, which I have over here. We can kind of just make a bunch of circuits. these guys will need pure Certus quartz. We have a decent amount. We can make like a stack of those. And unfortunately, automating the inscribers is difficult. So there's a couple of things. We'll need more diamonds for those, but then gold for that, and then plenty of silicon for that. So that seems to be, yeah, that's all the vanilla recipes. So that part at least isn't too bad. So we might start working towards that. I don't know yet. But anyways, I'll figure it out, and we'll come back next time and do some more work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!